Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are back on the Community Care Auto Repair channel. Name's Will, and I got an interesting one for you guys today for the 99 Dodge Ram 1500 two-wheel drive 3.9 liter engine second gen vehicle. We had a small incident happen. We were dropping our fuel tank and had a small issue. So we are going to be doing a little side video today. I believe I already have a fuel tank video. If I don't have a fuel tank video, one will come eventually when the next fuel pump fails. But with that being said, we broke our fuel line connector. So, after several days of annoyance and several auto mechanic stores not knowing what they're talking about, I'm coming to you to save you a lot of time, a lot of travel, and a lot of irritation. So let's go ahead and get into this. Alright everybody, so as you can see, I am down underneath the vehicle. I'm going to have my wife pass me the phone in just a second, and I'm going to show you what happened, and I'm going to show you the solutions to the problem. So with that being said, honey, if you would hand me the video real quick. Thank you. Here we are underneath the truck. These are the fuel lines from the factory. It generally comes like this. You've got this little rubber piece right here. Whoop! Got a little gas coming out right there, as you can see. But anyways, couldn't find anything specifically like this. I asked a bunch of places. Now, we may have found it, but after it was all said and done, we already came up with our own solution. So this right here should be able to connect with the 5/16 fuel line right here. So we went ahead and bought ourselves some fuel line. Got about I think it's 27 inches of it. Although that's not what we don't need all of that. We just like to have extra. And this part right here, which is the main culprit. So this piece right here broke. And as you can see, let me tilt this. You can see the piece is broken right there. Right on the inside of that, okay? So since it's broken on the inside of that, I had to take just the top portion of it, which was broken like that, into 3 different stores, and nobody could help me figure it out. Their websites do not show if they do or do not fit vehicles specifically. So with that being said, I got a 5/16 by 5/16. Now, when I say that, let's go ahead and classify this real quick. We've got the 5/16 right here and the 5/16 right there, okay? But that's not the only size they have, because that first size was wrong. So I came to find out that there is a 5/16 to 5/16. I found out there's a 3/8 to 5/16. There's a 3/8 to 3/8. There are so many different sizes of these things. Now, as long as I've done everything correctly, and I'm going to find out here in just a moment, because I'm pretty positive I'm correct, this is the 3/8 by 3/8 connector. Now, the 3/8 connector I've already verified does fit. However, I have 5/16 inch tubing. I believe I can show you right there. It says 5/16 inch tubing. So with that being said, we're going to put all of this stuff together and try to see if we can put this back together. Give me just a moment. We're going to go ahead and change direction, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, get a little blinded by the sun because it's the middle of the day, but we're getting ready to put all this stuff together real quick, make sure everything fits. Don't forget to stop and get yourself a brand new set of hose clamps over at Harbor Freight, because we are going to hose clamp this when it's all said and done. So with that being said, like I said, 5/16 line, we got a 3/8 by 3/8, and I will give you guys the part number for this in just a minute. So the reason I did that was so that way we can have it nice and securely snug, which as you can see, it's going on there okay. So 5/16, this is a 3/8 to 3/8 connector right here. I will show you guys the part just to show you that it's a 3/8 to 3/8 connector. Let me go ahead and pop this open real quick so I can get a hose clamp out and get ready to pop this down. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see right here. What are you? Alright, that'll fit perfectly. So, we're going to go ahead and slap this line on over here. Nice and snug. That's why I got the 5/16 line of the 3/8 inch adapter piece. And yes, it is going to take a little bit of work to get it on there because it's smaller in size, but that is okay. That just means you got a nice snug fuel line. You're going to have to worry about issues with this. All right, let's see here. We are almost there. There we go. All right. Yeah, I may actually need to get one slightly bigger, but we'll find out in just a second. So. All right, we'll go ahead and put that down for 1 second. Pop out of camera view for just a second. Get my slightly bigger flathead there, because that little tiny one was good for getting that open, not good for screwing this down. There we go. All right, get that on there good and tight. All right, now we're gonna angle ourselves towards the fuel pump real quick, just so that way we can show you that this does in fact fit. So this part is in regards to this, and always make sure to do this first when you're putting a new one on. Take the blue clip out, slip it over, and let it click into position. Now that it's done that, we can go ahead and slip this on. And see how we got a nice snug line. We are back in business with that. What we're going to do now is in just a second, we're going to go up under there. We're going to measure this length with the length that's broken in from the factory with that crappy plastic stuff. And we're going to go ahead and cut it to size, get that off, get this put on. We're going to finish this job. See you guys in just a few minutes. All right, everybody. So we are finally done with that. We went ahead and measured to size. I actually gave myself just a smidge extra length. And when I say a smidge extra length, I'm talking like maybe a quarter to a half an inch extra length, just to have a little wiggle room. But anyways, this is what comes from the factory. As we showed you earlier, that's what broke off in there. We've got our new piece set up right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this piece, we're going to slip it on the metal fuel rail up in there, and we're going to hose clamp it down again. So we'll see you under there in just a second. What's going on, guys? Got it all hooked up. Come here, I want you to see how pretty it looks. Come here. All right, look at that. We got it clamped down nice and tight right there. Got it clamped down nice and tight right there. So now all we got to do is get the tank back underneath, get everything raised back into position, plugged back in, and we should be good to start this up. But yes, just so everybody is aware, if you ever break the fuel line connector, save yourself a lot of trouble. Watch this video, okay? Basically, like I said, you got a 3/8 to a 3/8 prong adapter. That's going to fit on the 99 Dodge Ram 1500 two-wheel drive, 3.9 liter engine, second gen model. Get yourself some 5/16 hosing. Make sure to have some hose clamps. You can pick those up at Harbor Freight. They're cheaper at Harbor Freight for a big container versus going to AutoZone. Sorry guys, not trying to diss y'all or diss any of the auto shops, but you guys charge too much for your hose clamps. And you can fix this no problem. It'll save you a lot of stress, a lot of time, a lot of fights, a lot of driving. Watch this video. We're going to do all of this, get it put back together, and we will turn it on and show you that it works. And once we're done doing that, that's it for this video. But hopefully everybody will see this who needs to see it. It'll save you a lot of trouble. All right, guys. So real quick, before I put it back together, I just wanted to take a few seconds to say the same situation would be done with these parts right here. So you've got this fuel line that comes down runs up here. If any of this line breaks right here, you would do the same thing and you would replace this with the same fuel line that you saw us do the repair on the other part in. I just wanted to add that in. Now, with that being said, give me 1 second here. I'm going to go ahead and finally tell you guys the big secret. The part number for this, and it is a 2-pack, never hurts to have an extra one, is 800-086, a Dorman 3/8 steel to 3/8 nylon fuel line connector. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get this tank put back in. We're going to go ahead and get it all hooked up, get the truck dropped down to the ground, get the tank filled with some gas, turn it on, so that way we can show you that everything's works, there's no leaks and everything. And that'll basically finish us out. So we see you here in a few minutes when we get this all put back together. All right, everybody, we had the missus prime it. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and start it, honey. You are in neutral, right?
Yep.
All right.
Emergency brake.
All right. All righty. We do not have any leaks, so that is good. All righty. Thank you guys for watching the videos. Make sure to keep on following, like, subscribe. We hope this saves you guys a lot of heartache, a lot of driving around, and hopefully saves you any arguments with the missus, because mechanic work can be stressful. But make sure to keep tuning in. We'll keep putting content out there and showing you guys what to do to help make your lives easier. Until the next video, take care.